Hi everyone, I sure hope you're doing okay today. I have a word I want to share with you today about worry. Yep, worry. Because something new and fresh has hit me, and it comes from the story of Joseph. Joseph, the Old Testament Joseph, the guy who was betrayed by his brothers because he had a dream. That Joseph who wound up being betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, bought as a slave by the chief executioner in Egypt, and then accused of sexual assault a couple years later by that guy's wife, thrown in jail, and that Joseph. In Genesis chapter 39, it says this about that Joseph. Hang with me, okay? Because this, I hope, will encourage you. It says, this is in the middle and the context of Joseph having just been sold as a slave and being picked up as a slave and put in the house of Potiphar. And it says this, it says, Yahweh's presence or Jehovah's presence was with Joseph. In the midst of that betrayal and that being kidnapped and sold as a slave, Yahweh or God's presence was with Joseph. God's presence was so much with Joseph. The next 5 verses talk about how everything that Potiphar did prospered because Joseph was working for Potiphar. And because God's presence was on Joseph, not only Joseph was blessed, but Potiphar's house was blessed. And here's the verse that hit me afresh a couple weeks ago. It says this. So Potiphar placed everything in Joseph's hands. Joseph had oversight over everything in Potiphar's house. You know the story, I'm pretty sure. And then it says this, with Joseph in charge, Potiphar had nothing to worry about except deciding what to eat. What are you saying, Debbie? I'm saying this, that when God's presence is on you, you have nothing to worry about, and those who you influence and those who you fellowship with and those in your family and your closest friends, the people that you work with, everybody at school, they will have nothing to worry about if the presence of God is on your life. It's repeated, the same exact thing, later on in the chapter. Remember I told you 2 years later, Joseph was accused of sexual assault? He was thrown in jail, and look what it says when he was thrown in jail. It says, and the presence of God was on Joseph, and the warden had no worries about the prison because Joseph was in charge. And then it says, because Yahweh's presence was with Joseph. Oh, my friend, my friend, my friend. If I and you and we could only get the significance of his presence, God's presence. If we have God's presence with us, we have nothing to worry about. And those that God gives us favor with will recognize that and also have nothing to worry about. So today, wherever your status is on the worry chart, on the worry gauge, I pray that we seek to be more filled up with God's presence, more influenced by God's presence, more aware, more in tune, and more in step with God's presence, with what pleases Him. And then we will have nothing to worry about. Have a great day. Go with God.